Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our English Learning Podcast. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Mark. Today's episode is really special.
Yes, because today you'll learn how to talk about the past in English.
Exactly. We'll practice using past tense verbs and learn phrases to describe what life used to be like.
And to make it fun, we'll do that by talking about how people's daily routines were different years ago.
Before smartphones, before the internet, before social media.
Before everything changed.
This is the perfect follow-up to our episode on daily routines.
Remember when we talked about waking up, going to work, and going to bed?
Today, we're asking what was different 10, 20, or even 30 years ago.
And we've invited 6 amazing guests to share their stories.
We'll hear about how their days were completely different in the past.
Before we start, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us so much.
And click the thumbs up button if you enjoy this episode.
Also, download the free PDF with all the phrases and stories from today. The link is in the description and in the first comment.
Now let's jump into the past with our guests. First up, we're talking about morning routines in the past. Let's meet Sarah, who is now 65 years old.
Sarah, welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to share my memories.
Sarah, let's go back in time. How many years ago are we talking about?
About 40 years. I'm 65 now, so we're talking about the 1980s.
The 1980s. That's fascinating. So, Sarah, what time did you wake up back then?
I wake up at 5:30 in the morning every single day.
5:30? That's very early. Why did you wake up so early?
Because I had to prepare breakfast for my family before everyone left for school and work.
So you had to make breakfast for the whole family?
Yes, I cooked eggs, bacon, toast, and made fresh juice. It took about an hour.
An hour every morning. That's a lot of work. What about your alarm clock?
I didn't have an alarm clock. I just woke up naturally at the same time every day.
You didn't use an alarm? How did you manage that?
Your body gets used to waking up at the same time. After years of doing it, you just wake up automatically.
That's incredible. So you woke up at 5:30 and then you made breakfast. What did you do next?
After breakfast, I got dressed, but getting dressed was very different back then.
What do you mean?
I had to wear a dress or skirt every single day. Trousers were not acceptable for women in public.
Really? You had to wear a dress even at home?
Yes, I had to wear proper clothes. Even to go shopping at the supermarket, I wore a dress and applied makeup.
That's so different from today. Did you take a shower every morning?
No, I took a shower only twice a week, once on Wednesday and once on Saturday.
Only twice a week? That's very different from now.
Yes, most people showered less frequently. We washed our hair only once a week, usually on Saturday.
So you woke up, you made breakfast, you got dressed, and you did your hair. What else was different?
I did the dishes by hand. We didn't have a dishwasher.
No dishwasher. What did that involve?
I filled a big sink with hot water. I washed each plate and cup by hand, and then I dried them.
That must have taken a long time.
About 30 minutes every single day.
So a typical morning was very different. More physical work, more time-consuming.
Much more. People spent hours on housework every day. There were no shortcuts.
Sarah, thank you so much for sharing. That was really enlightening.
My pleasure. It was a different time.
Thanks, Sarah. That was amazing. So in the 1980s, mornings were very different.
People woke up early. They made breakfast by hand. They spent hours doing housework.
Now let's talk about work routines. We're meeting David, who is 58 years old.
David worked in an office 30 years ago. Let's hear how his workday was different.
David, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Great to be here.
So David, let's go back about 30 years. You worked in an office, right?
Yes, I worked for a big company, but it was completely different from today.
How was it different?
Well, first of all, I commuted by car for 2 hours every day.
2 hours? That's a long commute.
Yes, I drove in traffic for about an hour to the office and then an hour back home.
Why was it so long?
The highways were different, and there were no GPS systems. I used to get lost sometimes.
No GPS. How did you know where to go?
I had printed maps. I kept them in my car at all times.
So you used physical maps instead of a phone.
Exactly. If I needed to go somewhere new, I asked someone for directions or I called a friend.
How long did that take?
Sometimes 15 or 20 minutes. I had to stop somewhere to ask.
That must have been frustrating.
It was, but it was normal at that time. Everyone did it.
So you arrived at the office after 2 hours of driving. What was your workday like?
Well, when I arrived, I had to check my inbox for letters.
Letters, not emails.
Right, we didn't have email. All communication was by post or by phone.
How often did you check your mail?
Usually twice a day, in the morning and after lunch.
And how long did it take?
About 30 minutes each time. Someone had to deliver letters from the mailroom to each desk.
That's so different from email today.
Yes, emails appear instantly now, but back then we had to wait days or weeks for responses.
So email made work much faster.
Absolutely. It changed everything.
What else was different about your workday?
Meetings were different too. We had meetings in person, and they lasted much longer.
Why longer?
Because we didn't have the technology to share screens or documents quickly. Everything had to be printed and distributed.
How many copies did you print?
Sometimes 50 or 100 copies for one meeting. It was wasteful.
Did you use computers at all?
Yes, but they were very basic. We had desktop computers, but they were slow and didn't do much.
What couldn't they do?
We couldn't access the internet very easily. We had to use the company's network, and it was very slow.
So overall, your workday was more manual and slower.
Much slower. A task that takes 5 minutes today took 2 hours back then.
That's incredible. Did you enjoy work more or less than today?
It was different. There was more personal connection because we had to talk to people face to face.
That's interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, David.
You're welcome. It's fun to remember those times.
Thanks, David. Work in the 1980s and 1990s was very different.
Now let's talk about family time. We're meeting Jennifer, who is 52 years old.
Jennifer will tell us about her evenings in the past. Let's hear from her. Jennifer, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Jennifer, you grew up in the 1980s. Tell us about your evenings back then.
My evenings were very different. First of all, we didn't have much technology.
What do you mean?
We didn't have computers or phones in our bedrooms. We only had one television in the living room.
One television for the whole family?
Yes, if you wanted to watch something, you had to go to the living room with everyone else.
So your whole family watched TV together.
Exactly. And we didn't have remote controls like today. Someone had to get up and change the channel manually.
Really? You had to stand up to change the channel?
Yes, and there were only 3 or 4 channels to choose from.
Only 3 or 4. Today we have hundreds of channels.
It was completely different. My parents chose what we watched, and we all watched it together.
So you couldn't watch what you wanted?
No, we had to watch what my parents chose. Usually it was the news or family shows.
What did you do if you didn't want to watch TV?
I played outside with my friends until it got dark.
Outside? For how long?
Hours. We played until about 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Didn't your parents worry?
Not really. It was safe. Kids played outside all the time. Parents didn't worry like they do now.
That's very different. What about homework?
I did homework by hand. I had to go to the library to research for projects.
The library?
Yes, if I needed information, I couldn't just search on the internet. I had to go to the library and look through books.
How long did that take?
Sometimes hours. I had to find the right book, then search through it for information.
So homework took much longer.
So much longer. Now you can find information in seconds. Back then, it took days.
What about socializing? How did you talk to your friends?
We talked on the telephone in the living room. It was a shared phone.
A shared phone?
My whole family shared one telephone. If I wanted to call my friend, everyone could hear my conversation.
That must have been awkward.
It was. If I wanted privacy, I had to stretch the cord and go into another room.
Did your parents listen?
Sometimes. It was not private at all.
So you didn't have mobile phones?
We didn't have any phones except the one in our house. If you wanted to reach someone, you had to go to their house or call on the family phone.
That's so different from today. Did you like it?
In some ways, yes. We spent more time together as a family, but in other ways it was inconvenient.
Thank you so much for sharing, Jennifer.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Jennifer. Family evenings in the past were very different.
Now let's talk about school routines. We're meeting Tom, who is 48 years old.
Tom went to school in the 1980s and 1990s. Let's hear about his school day. Tom, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
Tom, tell us about your school day in the 1980s.
It was very different from school today. First of all, we didn't have computers in school.
No computers at all?
We had a computer room with maybe 5 computers, but we rarely used them.
What did you use for learning?
Books. We used textbooks for everything, and we had to take notes by hand.
By hand? Did you use pens or pencils?
Pens, mostly, and if you made a mistake, you couldn't just delete it like on a computer.
What did you do?
You had to cross it out or use an eraser. Some teachers didn't like pen because mistakes looked messy.
That must have been stressful.
It was. You had to be very careful.
What about teachers? Were they different?
Yes, teachers were much stricter. We couldn't talk back or question them.
You couldn't question the teacher?
Not really. If the teacher said something, you believed it. There was no arguing.
What happened if you questioned the teacher?
You got in trouble, seriously in trouble. Sometimes you had to stand outside the classroom.
That sounds harsh.
It was. Teachers had much more authority than they do now.
Did you have mobile phones at school?
No, mobile phones didn't exist when I started school.
So how did you communicate?
We passed notes, paper notes.
Paper notes? How did that work?
You wrote something on a piece of paper and passed it to your friend during class.
Didn't the teacher see it?
Sometimes, and if the teacher caught you, you got in serious trouble.
What happened?
The teacher read the note out loud in front of the whole class. It was so embarrassing.
That's awful.
Yes, it really was.
What about lunch?
Lunch was different too. We didn't have the variety of food we have now.
What did you have?
Usually the same things: sandwiches, soup, or simple hot meals. No special dietary options like today.
Did you eat at school?
Some kids brought lunch from home, others bought lunch at the cafeteria.
But no one ordered food from outside?
Never. There was no Uber Eats or food delivery. You ate what the school provided or what your parents packed.
That's very different. Thank you so much for sharing, Tom.
Happy to help.
Thanks, Tom. School in the 1980s was very strict and very different.
Now let's talk about entertainment. We're meeting Rachel, who is 50 years old.
Rachel will tell us about how people spent their free time in the past. Rachel, welcome to our show.
Hi, Emilia. Thanks for having me.
Rachel, let's talk about entertainment. How did people have fun in the 1980s?
We didn't have as many options as today. We went to the cinema, we listened to music, we played outside.
No internet entertainment?
No, the internet didn't exist. Entertainment was very different. Tell us about the cinema. Going to the cinema was a big event. We didn't go very often because it was expensive.
How often did you go?
Maybe once a month if we were lucky. It was special. And what happened at the cinema? You went to the theater, you bought a ticket and some popcorn, and you watched the film.
Just one showing?
You couldn't choose different times like today. You had to go whenever the film was showing.
That's different. What about music?
Music was amazing. I loved listening to music.
How did you listen?
We had radios and cassette players. We played cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes. Did you make your own cassettes?
Yes, we recorded songs from the radio onto blank tapes. It took forever.
How long?
You had to sit by the radio and press the record button when your favorite song came on.
Did you have to do the whole song?
Yes, and if someone interrupted you, you had to start over.
That sounds frustrating.
It was, but it also made you appreciate music more.
What about other activities?
We spent a lot of time at friends' houses. We played games.
What kind of games?
Board games like Monopoly or Scrabble, we played for hours.
No video games?
Video games existed, but they were very basic, and very few people owned them.
So you had to use your imagination more.
Exactly. We made up our own games, we told stories, we used our creativity.
That's lovely. Did you watch much television?
Yes, but there wasn't much choice. We had 3 channels, and we had to wait for our favorite shows. What do you mean, wait? If your favorite show was on Tuesday at 7 p.m., you had to be home at that time. There was no recording or streaming.
You couldn't record it?
Later, we got VCRs, but they were expensive. Most people didn't have them.
So you couldn't watch shows whenever you wanted?
Never. You had to plan your life around the TV schedule.
That's so different from today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me share.
Thanks, Rachel. Entertainment in the past was simpler but special.
Now let's talk about shopping and daily errands. We're meeting Michael, who is 60 years old.
Michael will tell us about how people shopped and did errands in the past. Michael, welcome.
Thanks, Mark. Great to be here.
Michael, let's talk about shopping in the past. How did you go shopping?
Shopping was a completely different experience. First of all, you had to go to different shops for different things.
Different shops?
Yes, you went to the butcher for meat, the baker for bread, the greengrocer for vegetables.
There wasn't one supermarket with everything?
Not like today. Supermarkets existed, but they weren't as big or complete. Many people preferred to shop at local shops.
Why did they prefer local shops?
The quality was better, and people knew the shopkeepers. It was more personal.
So shopping took a long time?
Hours. You couldn't just go to one place. You had to visit multiple shops.
How often did you shop?
Usually 2 or 3 times a week, because we didn't have fridges like today.
Really? Most people didn't have fridges?
Well, we had small fridges, but they weren't very big. You couldn't store much food.
So you had to shop frequently?
Yes, every 2 or 3 days. Fresh food didn't last long.
What about money? How did you pay?
Cash only. There were no credit cards like today.
You had to carry cash?
Always. And you had to know how much everything cost because you couldn't go to an ATM.
No ATMs?
The first ATMs appeared in the 1980s, but they weren't common. Most people got money from the bank during business hours.
That must have been inconvenient.
It was. If the bank was closed, you couldn't get money.
What about other errands?
Paying bills was different. You had to go in person to pay.
Really?
Yes, you went to the bank, the post office, or the utility company and paid your bills face to face.
Didn't it take a long time?
So much time. You waited in queues for an hour sometimes.
Now you can pay online.
Exactly. In minutes. Technology changed everything.
What about correspondence?
If you needed to contact someone, you wrote a letter.
How long did it take to arrive?
Usually 3 to 5 days. If you needed an answer quickly, you were in trouble.
Did people use telegrams?
Sometimes, but they were very expensive. Most people didn't use them.
Thank you so much for sharing, Michael.
You're welcome.
Okay, everyone, let's recap all the key phrases we learned today.
These are all about the past, so listen carefully.
Past simple verbs describing morning routines.
I woke up at 5:30 a.m.
I made breakfast every morning.
I got dressed in a dress.
I took a shower twice a week.
I washed the dishes by hand.
I dried everything on a rack.
Past simple verbs about work.
I commuted by car for 2 hours.
I drove in terrible traffic.
I used physical maps.
I got lost sometimes.
I checked my inbox for letters.
I had meetings in person.
I printed 50 copies.
I couldn't access the internet easily.
Past simple about family time.
We didn't have computers in our bedrooms.
We watched television together.
I played outside for hours.
I did homework by hand.
I went to the library to research.
I talked on the shared family phone.
Past simple about school.
We didn't have computers at school.
We took notes by hand.
We couldn't question the teacher.
We passed notes in class.
The teacher read our notes out loud.
Past simple about entertainment.
We went to the cinema once a month.
I recorded songs from the radio.
We played board games for hours.
We had 3 channels on television.
You had to be home to watch your favorite show.
Past simple about shopping.
I went to different shops for different things.
I shopped 2 or 3 times a week.
We didn't have big fridges.
I paid with cash only.
I had to go to the bank to get money.
I went in person to pay bills.
I wrote letters to contact people.
That's all the key phrases.
Let's explain some important vocabulary.
First word, commute.
Commute means to travel regularly between your home and work. For example, I commute by bus. My commute takes 1 hour. It's the regular journey you make.
Next, frequent.
Frequent means often or many times. For example, I went shopping frequently, 3 times a week. Frequent means often.
Next, manual.
Manual means done by hand instead of by machine. For example, washing dishes manually means using your hands, not a dishwasher. Manual work is physical work.
Next, strict.
Strict means having very strong rules and not allowing much freedom. For example, my teacher was strict. We couldn't talk in class. Strict people don't allow much.
Next, convenient.
Convenient means easy and not requiring much effort. For example, paying bills online is convenient. You don't have to go anywhere. Convenient means easy.
Next, technology.
Technology means machines and equipment that help us do things. For example, smartphones, computers, and internet are technology. Technology makes our lives easier. Next, past simple tense.
The past simple is the most common way to talk about things that happened and finished. For example, I went to school yesterday. I ate breakfast this morning. We didn't have computers in the past. Use past simple for completed actions. Now, your challenge.
Write about one of your family members' daily routines from the past.
Ask your grandmother, grandfather, or parent about what they did in their childhood.
Write at least 10 sentences using past simple verbs.
For example, my grandmother woke up at 6 a.m. She made breakfast. She didn't have a washing machine. She washed clothes by hand.
Share your story in the comments.
Remember to download the PDF with all the phrases from today's episode.
All 6 guest stories are included.
The link is in the description and the first comment.
Print it and keep it as a reference.
Okay, everyone, that was our episode on daily routines in the past.
A huge thank you to Sarah, David, Jennifer, Tom, Rachel, and Michael.
A huge thank you to Sarah, David, Jennifer, Tom, Rachel, and Michael.
If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button.
Subscribe to our channel for more episodes.
Share this with your friends who are learning English.
And now, a little secret about the next episode.
Next time, we're teaching you how to describe family members in English.
You'll learn phrases like, my brother is tall and funny, and my sister likes reading books.
It's perfect for talking about the people you love.
Don't miss it.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Happy learning.
And remember, learning about the past helps you understand the present.
History is fascinating, and so is language.
See you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone.